All right, welcome back, boils, ghouls, and creatures of the night. It's another Metal-ween Matt and the gang, and today we're watching one that I have talked about before on this channel, actually. It's a movie that fascinates me, and it's a movie that I think will be great to share with you guys. This is the film Little Nicky, starring Adam Sandler. One of his... It's like in the whole like pantheon of bad Adam Sandler movies, it does get overshadowed a little bit, but it is pretty widely hated. No one really regards this as like one of the good ones, even with the aid of nostalgia. It's kind of weird that it was on Matt's Funtime Weird Movie Show. It's not really a Matt's Funtime Bad Movie Show, even. It wasn't really in line with what I was usually doing, but it fascinates me. Like, Michael, the way you, like, 8 Crazy Nights, you don't think it's a good movie, but it, like, intrigues you as a film. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about Little Nicky.
Right.
I think that can be said for a lot of Adam Sandler's movies.
Let's start the movie.
Oh, this is epic. This is taking me back to the 2000s.
Did you put in Spawn again?
That intro was either an early 2000s movie or an early 2010s YouTube video.
Technically, it was a late 2010s YouTube video on this channel. That one's actually kind of popular, and I think it's because for a while, if you typed in Nostalgia Critic Little Nicky, it was one of the first results. So that was like
still?
That's like one of the most popular episodes of Matt's Funtime Weird Movie Show.
Who is this guy?
John Lovitz.
Man, the shit that was acceptable at one time.
Look, he's got a glass of wine. He's sophisticated enough.
He's being tasteful about it? Is that what you're saying? How is she not noticing this, though? Like, he is, like, clearly, like, right there. He's not even hiding. Does she have tinted windows, like, on the other side?
He's just there every night and she's used to it.
I don't want to see the creeps.
I want everybody seeing in, but I don't want to see out. He's not even being quiet.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah. No, he's not even being careful about it. What's wrong with this guy?
No, tell her it's a bird. It's just a big bird.
What?
Reverse barnyard logic.
Oh yeah, that is a bird.
That kid did a murder. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what? He
did
deserved
murder. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a creepy guy, but like it's the setup for him going to hell.
We love when kids do a kill. That's gonna haunt that child for the rest of his life.
No, he's proud of it.
Alright.
I think if my peeping Tom called me, I think that would be more scary, actually, like my mom's peeping Tom, in reality. I think killing a guy would not be the worst thing that happened that day.
I love that guy just giving his all with, like, the arm waving. Like, woo, woo, spooky hell, woo.
Hey, Jimmy!
What are you doing, Nicky?
I'm just jamming.
He's doing that voice that he thinks he has to do for every character for some reason, but turning it up to, like, 11.
I hate how right you are, though.
This is the scene the figure I have is based on.
Hey.
You know Sandler's movies are fun because he can get, like, anyone on them. Famous actors, famous athletes, the same 12 dudes he's been giving roles to since the 90s.
No, he just has dirt on a lot of people.
There's always a lot of weird, like, appearances in his movie.
This is bullshit!
I don't like that language.
How dare he swear in his Christian Minecraft server?
It's like SpongeBob music right now. Which SpongeBob characters are going to hell? Mr. Krabs for sure.
Probably Plankton. Almost certainly Squidward.
I don't know. I might give Squidward a pass on that.
Don't you all know that they're all representations of this deadly sins?
They're not.
I know, that's what a YouTube video said.
No, it's actually all just a dream.
Patrick is unbaptized, so he'll go to limbo. Sandy's from Texas, so she goes to Baptist heaven.
Oh, God.
Gary's definitely going to hell with all the sins he committed.
But he's awaiting it. He's ready for it. He's gonna do great things in hell.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey.
I liked him better as a dog.
I'll never do it on a Christmas tree. A Christmas tree is safe from me. Oh, what would Santa think of me if I did it on a Christmas tree?
I think what makes Adam Sandler movies unforgivable is sometimes they'll have, like, a pretty cool premise, and then it's just like, what if we did that in the worst way possible?
And I think that's kind of what fascinates me about Little Nicky, is because Little Nicky is exactly that.
Yeah.
There are ideas in this film I like, but it's just such an unfunny movie.
That's kind of funny, though. I like that he failed immediately. Can I ask you all a question real quick?
No.
Sure.
Okay, so this is just for Matt and Mitzi then. What's your least... Would you have a least favorite Sandler movie? Is there one where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm on board that this is the worst thing ever made?
Going Overboard. It was his first film, and
I haven't seen that.
It is awful. That would be another good Matt and the Gang, honestly.
The one that you were watching, I think it was for the Wikipedia's worst video. Do you remember this?
That's My Boy?
Yeah. I couldn't watch it. Like, I watched, I want to say 15 minutes of it.
It has a really
was
terrible
like,
premise.
I can't watch, like, why would you make a movie about this?
Mine's Grown Ups too, just because it's like I think it might be the laziest movie I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think I've actually seen Grown Ups 2.
I saw it in theaters. Like, I was excited for Grown Ups too. I loved Grown Ups.
I remember liking the first one as a kid. I don't know if it would hold up or not, but I remember liking it.
Probably
when
not,
it came out.
but it's definitely not. I think you would still put it, like, higher on your list of Sandler movies, but yeah, it's probably not going to be as good. What? Okay.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be as, like, awful as, like, Jack and Jill or That's My Boy or whatever else he was doing in this, like, early 2010s era.
Mm-hmm.
Little Nicky is straight from the source. It's from 2000. This was like when Sandler was at the height of his popularity. He dropped this one, and it was maybe the first warning sign that, like, Sandler wasn't always going to win the audience over. Because I don't think critics really liked his earlier films even, but, like, this was the one where audiences started to turn on Sandler as well.
Right. I would say for me, like, shit like 8 Crazy Nights or even Click are, like, my guilty pleasures. Like, I like them, but I acknowledge their flaws. Chris, do you have an answer?
I thought I wasn't allowed to answer.
Well, it's just because you said no, but I'll give you a second chance.
Well, the thing that sucks is that, like, I'm not a movie person, so obviously I feel like even the moment I say it, I don't even have to say it. You guys know damn well which movie I'm gonna say. And I don't know, does Pixels count?
Yeah. Is it Pixels?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pixels isn't even, like, that bad in the grand scope of Sandler's career.
I think it's bad. It's bad for me.
That's fair.
I'm also mad that they predicted that Billy Mitchell cheated before he actually did. Like, that shit's crazy. I love how, like, every reviewer is like, how do you cheat in an arcade game? And then Billy Mitchell did it, and just like that, I personally now put you on his shit list. So...
My favorite Sandler movie is Punch Drunk Love. I don't care if it's just one he acted in. I think there's so many of his, like, comedies where he's not even, like, director or writer, so it's, like, fine. I'm all for counting Punch Drunk Love as one of his, and I think it's his best one.
My favorite is Uncut Gems, but
Hell yeah!
It's a great... That's second place.
if we're talking about just like his comedy films, like his what's the company?
Happy Madison.
Production. Yeah, if we're just talking about like those comedies.
Wedding Singer.
I like Wedding Singer. That's mine.
That's my favorite comedy.
I don't know. I have a little nostalgia for The Waterboy. I don't think it's good, but I'm like, it made me laugh when I was young.
Waterboy was on like moments before I got my surgery.
So you had weird Adam Sandler dreams? When
No, I had Guy Fieri dreams, but that's a whole nother thing. No, it's crazy because like when you're in pain and that movie's on, it's like a whole different experience.
Billy Madison, to me as a kid, was like the funniest movie I ever saw in my life, and as an adult, I still think a decent number of scenes hold up pretty well. So I like that one. It is definitely a case of I liked it more when I was a kid.
So my Billy Madison story is that my neighbor was giving away, like, she was throwing away a bunch of DVDs, and she's like, you're welcome to take whichever ones you want. And I saw Billy Madison, and I'm like, classic Sandler film I haven't seen. I'll just take it and check it out. And I held on to it for, like, 5 years, and one night I'm, like, drunk, I'm like, amped up, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna watch Billy Madison now. And I opened the box, and it was empty. He wasn't in there, and I still have not seen that movie to this day.
There was this animation that was always on YouTube when I was a kid of Mario talking to Tails. You ever see that, Chris?
Yes, I have.
That's from Billy Madison. They're talking about Donkey Kong and Mortal Kombat.
Oh, they talk about like Mortal Kombat. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That video got recommended to me every other week.
I feel like Adam Sandler movies, like, you can be critical on them all you want, but I feel like also you're watching an Adam Sandler movie, so like I get the criticism.
Expect this stuff from him.
Yeah, I get the criticism.
Like, you shouldn't put the bar too high.
Yeah, because I mean he's good at what he does.
He's talented.
Like,
he's very talented. He likes making shit. He likes making shit.
Well, I think that's kind of the thing of what I'm trying to get at is he's making shit for himself, realistically. Yeah. So to get mad at a man for doing stuff for himself, like, no, don't get me wrong. There is some stuff that's shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that just makes That's My Boy worse.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun to just make shit like that. It'd just be fun to make nice.
I don't understand. I don't want to get into the mind of a man who's like, hey, what if we did a movie in defense of pedophilia? Like, I don't want that. I don't think you should have been allowed to make that, honestly.
It's the relationship in that movie that they are approving of is like as bad as May December. Like, it's exactly the same relationship.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna defend that one.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care if it's for you. If it's for you, that makes it worse a little bit, honestly. Because you're just like, yeah, this is a good thing. I enjoy this.
I'm more or less of talking about, like, grown-ups or other shit, because I keep forgetting that movie exists.
Yeah. I respect Sandler and what he does. I understand that he is making movies for fun. He has found a line of work that is fun for him, even if it produces terrible movies.
Yeah, well, That's My Boy is like an exception. It's not like he's made a lot of movies like that.
I know, it's just like, why though?
I think he's coming at it from Adam Sandler's side, and he's going like, oh, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to bang my teacher. So here's my movie about banging my teacher.
I mean, it's still gross.
It's still gross.
It is still gross.
No, I think the problem is, it's like, there's that gross perspective around that time that the South Park episode put it directly into a perfect example. So, like, it's gross. But like people at the time for that were gross, and I still don't think it's okay.
No, yeah, it's like that's all like the whole double standard conversation where if it's like a hot teacher, people think it's okay. That's what the South Park episode was making fun of, yeah. And then That's My Boy is exactly what they were speaking out against in that episode.
Yeah, no, I keep forgetting that movie exists, and anytime it gets acknowledged, I feel like I'm dying inside.
Yeah, I can't defend that one, but I'm not gonna.
There is no defending that one. That one's just not a good idea.
Aw, doggy.
That's terrific. Now get off the
Aw, Oh.
I think I've got more enjoyment out of Mitzi's reaction than the whole movie.
Why is he wearing elf shoes?
Why not? They're hellish elf shoes.
Because
True.
they're pointy. They've got horns.
They're rhino shoes.
Because Santa and Satan are actually very similar. Santa is actually just like evil, or Satan is evil Santa, and so all of his demons, all his demons wear like elf shoes. Boy, I sure could go for some delicious Popeyes chicken right now.
That's not a bad first Earth meal. Some Popeyes
Nah, dude, I
chicken.
can go for their biscuits without water right now.
I do think how quickly he keeps fucking this up is funny.
I do think it's funny every time he gets hit by something. I enjoy that every single time.
Do you mind maybe not telling anybody about this?
You got it.
I mean, why not? You're in hell already. Like, there is absolutely no shame at this point. Man, I love that Kmart sponsorship. I love how many Kmarts are around today.
You love acting. I love pissing.
I'm glad they got the P joke in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Top 10 movie lines. You love acting, I love pissing.
The Lord sure did say a lot of hibbity, jibbity, bibbity, swibbity.
That just kind of sounds like what I would say if I had to do mass.
You know that hibbity, bibbity, squibbity, jibbity that the Lord do? Yeah, you know that? We all know the Lord. That guy.
You know what he says.
Your best friend Fitzy helped your wife conceive a baby. He helped her conceive it all night long.
Why is he enjoying that? Why would you celebrate that?
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, how did I straight up forget Patricia Arquette was the love interest in this movie?
I love how there's a love interest in this movie.
Of course, there's a love interest in this movie.
That we
No, see, my
introduce
dumbass did not expect that.
that we introduce at the 27-minute mark.
Man, it's almost as if he has to stop his brothers or his dad will die. But I mean, hey, we can do this. It'd be great if this movie ends with him not actually stopping his brothers.
No, he just dies again.
Michael, I'm surprised you haven't recognized the preacher yet.
Is that Tarantino?
It is Tarantino.
I thought that, but I felt like I was gonna sound like an idiot if I asked if it was him, because I was like, nah, Tarantino wouldn't be in this. But why? Of course he'd be in this. No, I recognized him, but I thought I was wrong.
I run up behind this guy and I start bashing his brains in with this bat. Did you ever see The Untouchables? I was De Niro.
What's happened to you, Regis?
No, that's pretty normal. That's what I remember Regis Philbin being like.
This Coke tastes like Pepsi.
Oh, that's evil.
I kind of prefer Pepsi.
Who are you?
I mean, Dr. Pepper is like my favorite, but like I like Pepsi better than Coke, honestly.
I can't tell the difference.
I don't think this marriage is going to work out, honestly. I think you need to leave.
Pepsi is a little sweeter.
That's not true, though.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh no!
I didn't know.
It's Whitey.
I didn't
Oh
know.
no!
I forgot.
What have we done? Matt, what have we done?
This was before 8 Crazy Nights, right?
It was. That character, I believe, was also on one of his albums before 8 Crazy Nights.
I came for the beer and the bitches.
That kid was so excited to say that line.
Right?
Get that crap out of here!
The final boss we all want.
The big bad endgame. Whitey.
This is the next Avengers villain.
They really did change Whitey up in his next movie, huh?
Well, he's being controlled by a demon right now. Don't forget that. I don't know. This just kind of is what New York is like.
A little bit.
Just like in Space Jam.
Yeah, but little Nicky will never be ballin'.
Oh my god. Yeah, this really is like Space Jam.
Evil Space Jam.
What's reefer? About $500 an ounce.
That seems like way too much.
Thanks for the ball shot.
There he is, the king of hollow victories.
Oh, hey!
You will believe Nicky could fly.
He's the devil, and he wants to keep his throne for another 10,000 years. And that pissed off my brothers. So they broke the gates of hell, which is making my father,
The devil?
decompose. And I love my father very much, so I came to Earth to save him.
Man, I could have just come in at the halfway point. I didn't have to watch the first half of the movie.
Right?
I feel cheated. Why'd you make me watch this whole thing? You could have just been like, alright, we're at a halfway point. Come on in.
I made a Superman joke. Okay.
No, they're just... it's a Superman joke.
I didn't expect it.
Oh, hey.
Is that fucking Chuck?
It is Chuck.
It's Chuck!
Oh my god.
God.
Michael McKeenan.
Oh, Chuck was a demon the whole time. That's fair.
We knew it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Adam Sandler can actually do that in real life.
That's how he gets people in his movies.
That wasn't special effects. He can just do that.
Yeah, this is how he gets people in his movies.
Yeah, he threatens his like, are you gonna be in my movie or am I gonna have to do the spider thing again? And everybody's like, oh god, not the spider thing again.
He superimposed your head onto Scarface.
Which is probably De Palma's third best film.
What does he think the first two best ones are?
That's a good question.
Like, okay, he's a theater kid, so obviously one of them is Phantom of the Paradise. What's the other one?
He might be the son of Satan.
What a sick joke.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to be extra careful.
This is also a power Chuck McGill has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's woken up in a 2000s pop song music video.
that makes sense. That's probably a level of hell, right?
Yeah.
He's woken up in a Barbie video game.
I don't know, I kind of feel like this is what would happen if hell appeared in Central Park.
You mean it hasn't?
Little Nicky.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm gonna think of Popeyes. Every time I think of Popeyes, I'm gonna think of this movie now.
Well, let's let the feathers fly.
The fact that he's keeping this voice up is blowing my fucking mind.
Did it hurt him to keep this face up the whole movie? Like, I don't know, I feel like my jaw would hurt.
Oh, jeez.
There it is.
Shouldn't even be surprised by that one.
Wait, he could just crawl. Wait. No,
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
guess.
They could just crawl out of there this entire time?
I think
Why
Nicky
not?
can. Because he's, like, not totally demon.
Okay, sure. Why not? Alright, what's your explanation now?
It's a bad movie.
Okay. Sure.
T-posing. That's such an odd mix of, like, good practical effects and terrible CG in this movie.
Yeah. That bat shot was like one of the... might be the worst thing in the movie.
Those guys got the best ending. Oh, never mind. Alright, never mind again. Good ending. Good ending for the metalheads.
There you go, that's Little Nicky. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
I'm really tired and I just want to go to bed.
Oh, it's not his worst movie.
It did get a couple genuine laughs out of me. Mostly during the Globetrotters thing, but for the most part, I just kind of felt nothing.
I could kind of see why this would be like your 8 Crazy Nights, where it's like bad, but almost bad in an endearing way. Like there's just so
it's not fascinating the things it tries to do.
Right. And occasionally one of the things it does, I do think works as a joke. Like, there are parts where I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. I genuinely found stuff like Little Nicky, like, constantly fucking up near the start of his mission and getting sent back to hell to be kind of funny. sometimes the movie just decides to be like ridiculous enough to where it's like, okay, that's the jokes are going to be hit or miss with that, but at least you can kind of just sit and watch it as just like pure nonsense. It's better than a lot of the approaches a lot of his other comedies take. Where I won't say there was any point in this movie where I was like angry at it.
Chris?
I don't know, I liked it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna probably watch this ever again. I'm probably never gonna think about it ever again. But I was expecting this to be a mad, groaning type of movie, and it just wasn't that. Like, I expected absolute dog shit, and I would argue that this is not that.
No, I'm prepared to admit it's not it's not the most enjoyable watch, but I don't know, it captivates me. Sometimes a bad movie, you just kind of, like, it grabs you and it holds you, even though it's like not enjoyable, even though it's not any fun to watch at all. It's not even like funny bad.
No, I mean, I think that's exactly how I feel about 8 Crazy Nights, although a lot of that, I think sometimes just the longer a movie sits on you and the more you learn about it can also help you, because part of the reason I enjoy 8 Crazy Nights just does come down to the director, Seth Kearsley, being, like, so open about the production of that movie. Like, he has talked about it so much.
Yeah.
And that's kind of made me grow an appreciation for it, just knowing what went into making it, even though it, like, wasn't the best outcome.
Yeah.
I think I had very little to comment on most of this movie, just because I felt nothing most of this movie. Like, I just sat there being like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I most of the time I just kept spacing out thinking about other things because I was bored. But I will say again that there were a couple things that gave me a little chuckle. Mostly when he got hit by a car or a train or something. And, like, during the Globetrotters thing when Whitey was there. But, like, that's mostly just because of our inside joke shit, so...
I'll also say Sandler has never learned his lesson about, like, picking a ridiculous voice to do for an entire film. I'll give him this at the least. He always commits to it, because I've seen a lot of movies, like, especially nowadays, where they get someone to play a character where they can't even, like, consistently do the voice they're trying to do. So Sandler always at least keeps it consistent. I'll give him that. Like, if he's committing to a very obnoxious voice, he sticks to that obnoxious voice. He doesn't just turn it on and off when he wants to. That's not easy to do.
What do you guys think? Which one's worse, this or Pirates Who Don't Do Anything?
I got more out of this than Pirates Don't Do Anything. That movie bored the hell out of me.
I kind of agree.
I could understand the public reaction to Pirates being more positive just because it's kind of like, it's just a kid's movie, whatever, like, but it's not, it's just so bland and uninteresting. This at least kept my attention.
Yeah, it's sort of a mediocre kids movie where this is like a completely wild, terrible comedy.
Yeah.
Michael, you know how I feel about the kids movie argument. Like, I think that is my most hated argument in like film stuff, because, like, if you're gonna make a kids movie, at least make it fun, right?
Right.
So
yeah, because there are plenty of good kids movies.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, I agree with you. I could understand why people wouldn't agree with that, but, like, saying Little Nicky's better, but I do think Little Nicky is a more entertaining movie than this.
I feel like it's a weird comparison, but it does make sense because, like, we watched that, right? Like, that's one of the ones we watched.
It's comparing it to something else covered on the show. Yeah, without context, it's a very weird. Everyone's gonna be like, "Why the fuck did you bring that up?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just trying to gauge what we thought the worst movie we've watched on this show is, because it's definitely one of those two.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed Little Nicky more.
Unless we're counting, like, the Oscars. But even then, I think I enjoyed watching the Oscars more than this.
If we count Sick as Shit, it's probably Serbian Film as the worst one.
Well, yeah, sure, but that's counting Sick as Shit, and
I feel like for that one though, like, a Serbian Film is one of those movies that's, like, supposed to be edgy.
No, yeah, I think Sick as Shit will always outperform Matt and the Gang in terms of, like, how bad it gets. Because Matt and the Gang, I mostly want to watch, like, things that interest me. things that I think will be funny to watch.
Right.
Where sick as shit, sometimes I will slide just something completely disgusting in there. Any final words?
No, I think I'm good. This was probably, in terms of Sandler movies I've seen, this is probably right in the middle. Some of his movies are really fucking boring and hard to sit through. This isn't, at the very least, it didn't bore me.
I didn't see it at the time, so, like, I'd probably be more upset if I saw this movie at the time, but, like, due to the fact that time has passed, I don't, like, hate this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I understand anyone who hated it then and now. I also kind of understand anyone who likes it then and now. I guess until next time, happy Metal-ween, everyone.
Happy Metal-ween.
Dig through the ditches and